Coming up, you're going to discover the correct pricing model that you should deploy on the different apps, the different category of apps. Plus, I just hit my mic, the number one question that you should ask yourself, because none of this will work if you don't answer this very critical question first. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Steve P. Young, founder of AppMasters.co. Trying to change up the whole look and feel of my background, not always be standing up and have my crazy mic with me all the time. But today I want to talk about the biggest fear that I have from a revenue standpoint. I get asked a lot of questions about what's the best pricing model for my app. Should I do subscription? Should I do paid? Should I do free? Now look, there's some best practices. If you're a game, you should probably be free. It's a no-brainer in a way, right? Like, it's really hard to make it work as a paid. You might hear the success stories and think, hey, I can do that, but really, really difficult, okay? But for paid apps, productivity, certain things in that category, they tend to work. So productivity, reference, education, those are gonna work from a paid app perspective. And then from a subscription app, now look, I think Apple is really promoting a lot of subscription-based apps. So I do think that it's the future when you can create a subscription-based app. Health and fitness, meditation apps, all these are kind of skewing towards subscription model because obviously it's a win-win for everybody and maybe even the consumer as well. But I think that's sort of the granular micro level, but at a macro level, I tend to think about, especially if you're building a SaaS product or any type of business, like what are people willing to pay for, right? Like start with something first, because my biggest fear is that nobody would want this. That's my biggest fear. And I don't think a lot of people have that fear. A lot of people have the fear of just really talking to customers. If you think at it on a net level, like an overall level, they're like, oh, I'm gonna build this. This is a great idea, blah, blah, blah. But they're not really talking to real people to get feedback from them. And my biggest fear is that nobody's gonna want this. So I wanna talk to people. I wanna figure out, hey, is this something you want? Would you pay for this? Oh yeah? Well, what about this pricing? Okay, perfect. Because we can think through like, what's going to make the most sense from a business perspective? Should it be a one-time fee? Should it be subscription? Whatever it should be, I say start with the lowest barrier of entry. So if it's going to be subscription, how do you make it the most affordable just to get people into the door and see if it works? Like $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever. And that first few customers, they're like, look, it's $10 for the first year, right? I'm just testing this out and seeing if there's real customers. If there is, then you could slowly increase that pricing. So I think net, like you should really figure out, do people want this at the earliest possible? Start charging for it at the earliest stage possible, and something that makes sense from wherever you end up wanting to go to is the best. So for me, I launched AppMasters Academy recently, and within that first month of real like soft launch, I just talked about it on YouTube and talked about it on the podcast. I didn't really promote it anywhere else. We got subscribers, and we actually launched something similar back in 2014 where this is pretty much the same idea, right? But I have more signups in that soft launch phase than I ever did that whole year of 2014. So sometimes it's just about timing as well, and not so much about pricing models. It's just about timing and having enough brand equity now that I feel like I can charge. So it's really about figuring out. And I priced it at $25 a month because I felt like it was enough for people to make it a considered purchase, but low enough where I can just really test if there's a real market for this. Now that there is, we're really, amping up and scaling up the content on that side and really making sure that we have really, really awesome content. But now that was just a test, right? So I think really, really talk to your customers, figure out what they want, figure out what they need, and then build the product. I think the biggest takeaway is, my biggest fear is nobody wants this product. All right. And I hope that becomes your biggest fear too. All right. Until next time, I'll see you later.